everyone, welcome back. My name is Hex, and today we have a topic that's been all over the internet, the recent allegations surrounding Russell Brand and the questions that have emerged about whether he might be a narcissist, among other things. So, as of today, October 2nd, 2023, the BBC has reported the Thames Valley Police Force have opened a second probe into Brand regarding stalking and harassment as new information has come to light. A new victim has contacted the Thames Valley Police Department regarding stalking and harassment. To be clear, Russell Brand hasn't been charged yet, and it's not known if he's even been questioned as of today. So the BBC is not saying exactly when the stalking has happened. The 48-year-old Brand has denied any wrongdoing in this latest accusation, obviously. I'm going to have to do a part 2 on Brand, as I have so much information regarding him and his meeting with my best friend a few years back. I do have an interview with someone that actually hung out with Brand for a while, and it's not what you think. I have to do a separate video on that. There's a bunch of little things I have to explain. There's tons of pictures from that visit. Today I just offer my opinion and point of view. The caveman, Russell Brand, he reminds me of a wild-haired cult leader, and from a narcissist point of view, for some reason, I always found him annoying and used to almost cry the moment I discovered he would be appearing in a movie that I was dying to see. I figured that I can't stop him from appearing in movies, so I decided to sit through the movie. However, I would often fast forward his appearances. Before we dive in, though, let's take a moment to remind ourselves that we're discussing this from an observational perspective, as we don't personally know him. Russell Brand, comedian, actor, author, he's found himself under a lot of massive scrutiny lately. Obviously, accusations about his behaviors towards women have broken with claims that he is guilty of emotional abuse, gaslighting, inappropriate workplace behaviors, sexual assault, and rape. So the latest stalking accusations, of course, as of today, I had to update this video. Now, with accusations like this, it is important to remember that we have to approach this with sensitivity. I'm not here to pass judgment. Rather, explore the horrible accusations that is happening. From my perspective, as someone with NPD, narcissist personality disorder, just remember he has not been convicted in any court for anything. However, it needs to be said, as of today, October 2nd, 2023, the police are investigating the matters, so that's going to be the end of that part. Now, before we delve into his accusations, let's discuss narcissism. Narcissist behavior is characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, lack of empathy, and a constant need for admiration. The lack of empathy part is debatable, but it is known that narcissists do have some empathy. There's been a lot of research and a lot of different schools of thoughts on that. These traits, however, are rampant in celebrities due to the idolization and the pedestal all celebrities are placed on. Many celebrities are used to having things handed to them and getting treated as though they are gods or godlike. So as someone with the disorder myself, I could imagine how difficult it would be to not feel untouchable, feel godlike. And if I was in a position of Russell Brand with millions of dollars, I get it. But let's remember, Brand was actually diagnosed with bipolar, ADHD, So these are actual facts. However, there's no excuse for his behaviors. Having said that, 4 different women, 5 as of today, have come forward with their stories of alleged sexual assault and rapes taking place in 2006 to 2013. Since then, many more have come forward with accusations publicly and privately about his controlling behaviors and predatory behaviors. So, according to the London Police Department, none of these accusations are recent. They all seem to take place between 2006 and 2013. Now, according to Russell Brand himself, none of these accusations are true. He released a video in which he insists that all of his relationships he had were completely consensual, and these accusations are part of a big conspiracy to take him down, and the pharmaceutical industry is out to get him. Big corporations are out to bring him down. You gotta love his hypocrisy. As a man fighting against big pharma and big corporations while milking millions upon millions of dollars from big YouTube. Think of that. Now, from a narcissist perspective, one might argue that Brand's behaviors, as described in some of these accusations, do lack some empathy, and there's an excessive focus on his own needs and desires. He appears to be shifting this blame, obviously, over to big pharma and big corporations, trying to bring him down for exposing the truth. That's BS. That's a narcissist trait as well. Accusing everyone else when you screw up, not accepting blame or responsibility, blaming big pharma and big corporations, and everybody else is responsible for my bad behavior. In one of his videos, he says he's innocent, and he doesn't actually acknowledge the claims. I don't blame him. I'm sure his lawyers have advised him not to acknowledge the claims. He doesn't really seem apologetic in the slightest. He would like you to believe it's because he's innocent. I'm on the fence with that one. But if these accusations have some truth to them, this obviously does indicate an extreme lack of empathy to the victims who have come forward so far. We're up to 5. One of his videos, less than a week ago, I think it was last week, he's begging for money and support, meaning he's trying to mooch money from the general public on a different website similar to YouTube. I will not name this site, as I actually can't stand that site. I'm not going to say the name of it. It's a hokey site. But anyway, as someone with NPD, I can say that I was never a fan of him, Russell Brand. If you want to chalk that up to seeing something familiar in my behaviors and him, maybe in some ways, there must be something said to narcissists being able to spot other narcissists, maybe. But I'll save that thought for another video. As of right now, there's really just not enough evidence or research to say for certain. I could just say that I never liked him, even back when his reputation consisted of just womanizing and being a male, cheating all the time. Married Katy Perry. She called him domineering, controlling, and says she has a bunch of nasty, dirty little secrets she's going to keep to herself for now. I don't know about that part. Russell Brand himself actually pulled out his mini sausage and showed it to a woman at one point, and he even publicly joked about this multiple times. Lack of empathy, remember? Obviously, this is a factual thing that happened. I don't know if I could respect Brand any less than I already do. Before he even became a fake messiah, fake Jesus wannabe on YouTube, he was trying to repair his reputation and put himself in a better light. He just seemed creepy, and something was so off with his eyes. My first reaction during my research seeing one of his latest videos is a defeated man with weird eyes. Something about his dark eyes. There's something off there. So, you see, however, it is important to note that regardless of whether or not Russell Brand is a narcissist, these reported, obvious, admitted behaviors are not acceptable. They're sick. In any situation, empathy, respect, and consent should be the foundation of any relationship. If these accusations are true, it's a reminder he needs to be accountable for his actions, regardless of his public persona, his fake Jesus thing he's got going on. And he has really bizarre looking hands. They're massive. Just wanted to point that out. See, the thing is, whether he's a narcissist or not is SA, not excusable, not acceptable. I absolutely, positively have always despised him. I'm not sure why. As much as you could hate someone you don't actually know, his hair, his eyes, just his whole persona, I just couldn't stand him for many years. I still can't. My best friend got to spend a long period of time with him, and I don't know how she didn't see what I could see, but I just couldn't imagine being in the same room with him. He seems to be the scummiest of the scummiest. But there has to be a second video based on my best friend's experience with him. Her and her husband got to meet and greet him and hang out with him. So the thing is, human behavior is very complex. Public figures face an additional layer of scrutiny. It's important to remember that we only see a small fraction of his life. We don't technically know him. As we wrap up this discussion, it's important to acknowledge that the public persona that he portrays is just that, persona, as we have to remember he is an actor. So another example of that might be a wrestler, those fake wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin, for example. He's the nicest guy outside of his act, his wrestling persona. This would also include another one that I think is an actual narcissist. The Rock. He played a villain in his wrestling days for his wrestling persona. But in real life, I believe he's a great guy, a communal narcissist. That's just my speculation on it. I think he is. See, getting back to Brand, we don't actually have his thoughts. We don't know what he's thinking. We have to approach this with humility. See, Brand's behaviors, they do shed light on NPD, narcissist personality disorder, and how these traits manifest in various people. So we all have a responsibility to reflect on our actions, learn from our mistakes, and strive to be better. I will say I do not wish Russell Brand well, and I hope he's given some level of accountability, jail or prison. That's my hope. Guilty, probably, just based on how many people are coming forward, but we don't actually know as of now. The problem now is with people that are wealthy and famous, they actually get away with almost anything. I could say O.J. Simpson, for example, was someone who paid his way out of a serious, life-altering couple of devastating crimes. Let's just use this time right now to maybe foster a broader conversation about empathy and accountability and consensual, healthy interactions. As of now, we don't know what the future holds for Brand. I don't even think Brand knows. There's going to be more accusations. Unfortunately, until he's tried and convicted, we don't know as of yet. But I do want to thank you for joining me here today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Thank you for being here. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. And my name is Narcissist Hex, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.